All right, time for another fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. They're starting us with APTLY. And I'd like to do the yellows and greens as true, of course, which is gonna have to be AT something L, but then we need to have a P or a Y. It would almost have to have a Y at the end. I feel like, I could do a P there maybe, but I mean, you could maybe do an LT, but I'm not sure how that's gonna work. Huh, I actually don't know that that's gonna work to do that. Okay, so, well, one thing we could do is exalt. The A would be the lie, but we'd still be checking, we'd still have the A in there to look for a contradiction. Let's try that. Okay, the X is really interesting because that's unlikely to be true. It's possible, but it's unlikely. One of the L's is a lie, so we know there's a T and there's an A. Definitely, there's definitely an A and definitely a T. Could it be AX, and then I'm gonna use O as a filler letter now. Could it be that with no L? Oh, you'd have to have an E then if there's no L. You could almost do, I wanted to do expat, which works with exalt, but it doesn't work with aptly because of the P. So if we do AX and there's no L, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. So, I mean, it's most likely that the X is the lie and there's not an X. So there would be no L, so we could go with just the A and the T and no X. And let's do about. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So we still don't know, still no contradictions. So is there something we could do abort if the O is the lie? Okay, well, one of the B's is a lie. So the A's and the T's are definitely true. The A's and the T's are definitely true, which means this A is true, this T is true. And so then, I mean, unless there's a T or an A in the middle as well, those are also true. Could we do something, what if we did the O and no B? Oh, no, we'd have to do the B. Oh, we can't do, oh, right. So that's the interesting thing. So you know the A and the T are true. If there was an O in the middle, that would require the B and the R to be true, but we know that doesn't work. So there can't be an O in the middle. There could be an O, well, but if there was no somewhere else, that doesn't work either because the O being the lie forces the B and the R to be, so there's no O. So those are not true. Which therefore means that the B, this can't be the lie, because that would force the R to be true, and you would have to I mean, that would be the word, well, it would be this, but there's no other, I mean, you'd have to have the O, it doesn't work. So I don't think the B can be the lie. I think the R is the lie. I think this B is the lie. I think it's this. So all we have is the A and the T, and the only vowel we have is the I think. Because you can't have an E unless the X is true. And then you'd have to have, well, there'd be no L, but I still don't know what AX something something T with an E in there is. I think the X has to be the lie. So there's no E. All we've got is I or a repeated A. So could you do I, something like that? I don't know. I'm not really coming up with much, but if you put another A in there, I mean, you could do like adapt or apart, but there's no P. Oh, you know what we could do? We could do await. Oh. No, we can't. Oh, right. Because of the A. Right. Because if there's an A third, this A is a lie, and you'd have to have an X. So that doesn't work either. So if we're gonna put a second A, it's gotta be AT, I think. So that doesn't work. So, oh, maybe we need to do IT. Instead of I in the middle, I here. Admit. I admit that I should have thought of that earlier. Oh, that was the answer. All right, I definitely should have come up with that earlier, but that's all right. Well, it's interesting trying an unusual letter like the X, because if it comes up green, there's a decent chance that's the lie. But let me know about your solve and admit to me how many guesses it took you. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.